Welcome back to WTOL 11 Your Day.
It is Wednesday, and of course that means it's time for Amanda and Diane's, or myself, knit along. And you sound like you need a little help.
Help. This is not supposed to look like this, Diane.
It's not.
This is, I started off really well.
Right, last week when we checked in, I was so excited. It looked fantastic. So in about a week or so,
I added like 10 extra stitches than what I started. I have a ton of holes in it, and then I tried to cast off and I ran out of yarn.
Which is like the worst thing.
Yes, so then I had to like undo a couple rows, and then I tried to cast off again and couldn't figure out that last knot.
Yep, so that's one thing.
That's where I'm at. It's falling apart. It's falling apart, guys.
Yep, that's one thing we have to go over. So
Diane's gonna work on it with me.
That is our afternoon project.
Yes.
To work on.
But you know, we've had a lot of great response from all of you nitty crafters watching Your Day, so much so that we needed to chat with you live. Pat Hughes joins us this morning, an amazing knitter, crocheter, and more, who shows off her items at Whimsy and Blue in Elmore.
Good morning, Pat. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Wow. Okay, so we could see some, those are bunnies behind you, aren't those?
These are bunnies and bunnies and bunnies. They're all over.
Bunnies everywhere. So, okay, how long have you been knitting?
Knitting most of my life since a little girl.
Wow.
Crocheting about 10 years.
Okay, and did you start like I did? I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the knitting, yes, but as a little kid, it's more forgivable. I think as adults, we want it absolutely perfect the first time, and never going to be that.
No, but it is, I love being able to work with my hands, and you know, it keeps my mind off of whatever other things I could be thinking about, worrying about whatever. I'm focused on a project, and eventually I'll get there. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do this though, Pat.
You can.
This is amazing. How did you start these projects? I don't even know, I can't even wrap my brain around it.
Well, when I first started, you know, I had a knitter's brain, which is a little different than crochet. I took a class with my girlfriend, and I went home with my homework in hand and said, okay, I'm going to turn on the internet and see what I can learn. And I learned all the stitches, and I made a hat, and I proudly went to class the next week, and the lady told me that she couldn't do anything for me, and I was so disappointed. And I knew there was more. I you know, in my head I said, there's got to be more than this. I know that. Well, my poor girlfriend, who could do everything, could not master crochet, and the lady told us that we didn't have to come back for the third lesson. And I got outside and I said to my girlfriend, did we graduate or did we get kicked out? So I feel like, you know, learning crochet is a lot of trial and error. And I firmly believe that when you learn as a child, there is all that forgiveness. But as adults, we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect the first time.
Diane,
and even now,
some elephants that look sort of like projects.
That, yes. I knitted my elephants. I see a lot of your work, Pat, is crochet. So I am wondering, for those who are maybe getting just involved, which do you find easier, knitting or crocheting?
Knitting is not instant gratification. Crochet, it's done. It's done in a blink. So I think it depends on what you want out of it.
That is
something today. And you know, these guys, these bunnies only take a couple hours.
Okay.
So you know, here's a movie. Sit down and start doing it. Very simple.
I feel like I would not be able to watch a movie and do that at the same time. Maybe eventually I can get to it. Pat, tell us a little bit about the store where you sell your items.
So my neighbor moved into a new neighborhood. My neighbor met me, and she said, you have to go to Whimsy and Blue. I'm scared to death. Who's going to like this stuff? Who's going to want to deal with it? Well, I met Sandy, the owner of Whimsy and Blue in Elmore, and she was great. She was like, bring it. Just bring it. We'll make it work. And she has. I mean, you know, she indulges my creativity. She indulges my impulsiveness. She's open for whatever I think of, and there are a few things she's like, what are you thinking there? But for the most part, you know, in her store, it's so eclectic that my things blend in without being, cutesy bootsy or, like these guys. I started with just a little stuffy to put in an Easter basket.
Oh, cute.
Well, then my girl said, make a dish scrubber. So here's the dish scrubber.
Yeah.
And that's adorable.
What do you want? Yeah, so scrubby yarn and same pattern, same deal, one or the other. But it just takes a little thought.
And she obviously has a lot of creativity, Pat. This is incredible, and we're so glad that you love this segment and that you come and talk to us this morning to inspire other knitters and crocheters out there as well to take on some new projects.
I have some new goals.
We're sitting here watching TV while we do it. Why not watch a knit along? So it's perfect.
Wonderful, Pat. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we got to check out the store. I got to see all of those projects in person. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for the day. Thank you.
Yeah, take care. And don't forget to join Amanda and Diane's Knit Along. Just post your photos and some explanation of what you're making to our Facebook pages. We want to see. I've got it pinned there. Amanda Faye, Anchor Reporter. What's your page?
My page is meteorologist Diane Phillips, and I'm looking for those photos.
Yes, send them to us. Thank you for watching Toledo's Only Live, local 9 a.m. show.